a jackal, a cobalt zombie, a newt, a lichen, a yellow moth, an acid blob, a gas spore, a cave spider, a mains.
That's a thick-ass mod!
A dwarf, a gnome, a floating eye, a homunculus, a monkey, a roth, a paper golem, a rock mole, a woodchuck, a gnomish wizard, a baby yellow dragon, a baby black dragon, a baby blue dragon, a baby grey dragon, a baby green orange dragon, a baby silver dragon, a baby white dragon. Enter a bar and order a beer. Bartender answers, "Welcome to Mine Town."
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline.
The other day, our AdSky creative team was pitching ideas on what we can make our next video when the Play Market generously delivered us a game called Pathos Nethack Codex. I looked at it, saw the screenshots and got interested with it, presenting itself as a true roguelike with procedurally generated dungeons and characters whose power is based on their characteristics. Although we were a bit suspicious, expecting the game to turn out a casual experience, the Play Market page didn't lie. This was surprising that mobile phones actually have good games, not just Brawl Stars and Spider Rogue Gangster Hero Vegas Rogue Hero game. And I was impressed. It is not something you would usually find on Play Market. A dozen of playable races, numerous classes, and even a D&D-like stat distribution. Despite some time spent in the game, I was not just unable to complete it, You'll see. In fact, the game got me so interested, I decided to return to my presumably dead channel. We are so accustomed to the modern representatives of the roguelike genre, we don't even realize how far they have gone from its original canons.
Die, 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 die! Victory sip! That's how you sip out in Ireland!
Enter the Gungeon, the Binding of Isaac, Neon Abyss, all of these barely have anything in common with the original. Yes, that's what your parents and grandparents were playing, unless they were occupied with destroying the USSR. So, unless you are 80 years old or even worse, a Dwarf Fortress player, you might not fully comprehend what is happening on the screen, and I don't blame you. The age of polygons, pixels and RTX has spoiled us. However, a few might understand that in its core it's a regular game where each different symbol is an object on the map. The point is, Rogue was an origin of the new genre, roguelike. It inspired many similar RPGs at the time, most of which repeated its formula of randomly generated dungeons, loot and monsters. Okay, so one of its descendants was Hack, released in 1982. Later, the source code of Hack was used to develop Nethack, a modified version of the original Hack, which is still being developed today. And Pathos is practically the same thing to Nethack. It had the same design philosophy and a lot of features are identical, yet the game is more player-friendly. One Redditor compares Pathos and Nethack to Skyrim and Dark Souls respectively. Another writes, Pathos is best described as spoiled Nethack-like. It is about as far from Nethack as you can get in spirit, while still bearing an enormous amount of similarity to Nethack content. Oh, trust me, this is not going to seem so throughout the video, although it might just be me playing terribly. By the way, for all Pathos veterans, you may want to choke me after watching the video and see how I play. If you have any medical conditions that do not allow you to do so, consult with your doctor, mute the video and let it play in a new tab, not skipping any ads. However, Nethack is a different topic, which we may one day explore on this channel, if this video hits 5 likes. Popular YouTubers usually say this as a joke, but I'm really not sure this video is going to get so many considering the low recognizability of AdSky Media Holding. About that. The following message is written to you by the AdSky marketing team. Oh wait, I was not supposed to say that? How often are you willing to subscribe to a new YouTube channel to support it? Our team has been working on this video review hard, and we don't ask for any money in return. our intentions are pure and our souls are virgin. But the best thing you could do in return is to watch the video till the end, press the like button to spread it between more people, and subscribe to see our future videos. Note that the AdSky channel is still developing, so it is your chance to become one of the first viewers of a rising channel. Lately, our statistics has been skyrocketing, demonstrating a rise of interest in AdSky's content. We are proud to have such a small but at the same time respectable community of rational people with a good taste. What is the game even about? Well, as a pre-generated character, player enters a randomly generated dungeon and explores level after level, cave after cave, slays hordes of monsters, finds artifacts, trades with merchants until finally reaching the last 40th level to... Why actually, the objective is not stated at the beginning. In Nethack, you need to find an amulet of Yendor and retrieve it to the surface. On the official Pathos subreddit, I found mentions of some letter which you need to take to the surface, but I still don't even know its name. Asking the community of the game directly on their subreddit, they showed themselves to be worthy of a compliment and answered that the goal is to kill your nemesis. While clearing something up, this only led me to more questions. Looks like I will have to find it out empirically. I am sure I will succeed. So, as I was saying, the main gameplay pattern is to go level by level, killing monsters and finding artifacts. But often you'd rather not find anything on your way, except food. It is very important. Character was not necessarily killed by hunger, rather often I was acting stupidly to find more food or eating corpses of my enemies, which is the worst thing you can do. I mean, if you are a strength melee character, losing your main characteristic by eating mains is not a desirable outcome. If you look at its appearance on the D&D wiki page, you can understand why eating them would not be a good idea. But in the game they are ghosts, although it may also be the problem of my texture pack. Yes, there are 4 different texture packs for the game, and they are really different from each other. The first one, I don't really like it. I mean, this looks like a low-quality RPG Maker game which I made in the 10th grade. The over-realism does not make the game feel more real, it just makes the game less pleasant to play. The name Absurd fits it very well. I suppose it is likely that the pack was never meant to be beautiful and was made just for fun and variability. However, why is it the default texture pack then? This is like setting graphical settings of a game on minimal on the first launch with no regard for the PC configuration. Although no, Geoduck is the minimal setting. It resembles the ASCII graphics of classic roguelikes and retro PC games in general. However, it looks better and that may be its disadvantage. Correct me if I'm wrong, but despite trying to be ASCII, it is not. Many items actually look like themselves instead of being classical computer symbols. However, I'm mostly nitpicking. This texture pack looks less grotesque than the Absurd. So far, my evaluation of graphics was mostly pessimistic, but the worst is already behind. I like the 2 remaining packs. The one I played with mostly was classic. The name is pretty accurate, it is a generic high fantasy style, in a good way. The sprites are well drawn, everything generally looks good to me, no complaints. This was the one I chose for the majority of my footages. However, we still have the last one. Yeah, this is the real shit. That's how we play it. Not that I watch anime. I really like this texture pack, and at the moment of writing this scenario, this is one I choose to play. Unlike the classic pack, which communicates a dark and grim atmosphere, Sonny Wanda is rather lighthearted. Reminds me of early Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger. This is actually why I stopped using the classic after recording most of the footages. I'm not a fan of such grim atmospheres. I don't enjoy being under constant pressure, so I couldn't play the game for long before getting tired of it. And you know, the sound design is not helping either.
Let me put it in a language you can understand.
I'm not expecting the developer to hire an orchestra and compose musical masterpiece, but this is still better than... Okay, this is still a subjective topic, but the game sometimes feels like a horror in such an atmosphere. When I play just for fun, I usually turn up something on background to lighten the mood. I recommend King's Bounty music, which I am probably going to use in the video during editing. At first I recorded footages without any background noises, but at some point I snapped, so later footages may not feature sound. Yes, I am nitpicking again. Yes, lots of people prefer it this way. They like the grim mood, how it would probably be in the actual dungeon. I just asked the developer an option to turn on in-game music. It is not a big problem on PC, but playing music on mobile phones on background is not as comfortable, unless you paid for a musical subscription service, in which case I ask you to leave this video, it is for working class only. On the contrary, main menu music resembles me the famous Inception Ost. It is also the most terrifying jump scare ever. I intend to make this video a chronicle of my runs with different characters, compare and analyze them and possibly make some conclusions. I didn't run with every possible character, race and class, because that would take me a lot of time and effort, and at Sky Media Holding hates losing money. No, I just tried the possibilities which interested me the most. I wouldn't call this a drawback of my review, rather a possibility for you to explore the remaining numerous options by yourself. I mean, the game is free and you can download it using the link in the description, unless I forgot to put it. The first character is Goofy Hoober, a human ranger. A ranger is a really good class. It has a ranged weapon which may save your life in many cases and is extremely good in disarming traps. The character is rolled up, I changed the texture pack and we are ready to embark on our exciting journey. Oh no, it is the Mine Town. You remember the opposite to funny joke in the beginning of the video? Well, there is always a portion of truth in a joke. Mine Town is not just being occasionally harassed by monsters. Mine Town lives a constant battle for its survival against the monsters. Upon entering a small island of civilization in this deep, dark, dangerous underground world of death and despair, a band of goblins, hobgoblins and a were-rat immediately charged the ranger. Goofy easily managed to kill his attackers. After looting them, he headed north to the trade district, just to find two gnomish wizards fighting town guards. Mine Town. The cave system around the city did not leave any doubts why Mine Town was permanently harassed. Exploring these caves was a constant battle for Goofy Hoober, but at the same time he managed to find many valuable possessions and increase his level. He even acquired enough money to upgrade his bow. Twice. Finally, Goofy Hoober finished exploring the town and decided to descend even deeper into the cave system, to the caverns filled with filthy, aggressive gnomes, who had absolutely no problem killing, both from moral and physical perspectives. Goofy proceeded with his righteous crusade of slaughtering the whole gnome race, when he noticed two things. Firstly, one of gnomish wizards dropped a wand of summoning. Wishing to test it, Goofy summoned...
Oh shit, this is Turk from the Scrap Show! I'm so excited to meet— Ah!
Secondly, one of gnomish wizards sacrificed his humanity and turned himself
into a pickle!
Into a harpy. Mindwise, don't joke with harpies. So ended the story of Goofy Hoober. At Sky Electronics remind you that using the character of Christopher Turk is not a violation of copyright laws and we are ready to defend ourselves in court. The next adventurer was an elven wizard named Lorrezealue. She took a ghoul companion named Pinky to protect her from monsters and other hostile creatures. Let us wish her luck in her journey. Soon the wizard found a tiger eye ring, which I immediately wore. The ring turned out to be unusual. It held the curse of conflict. Its effect is not directly harmful to you, but it makes everyone around hostile towards each other. The first thing she noticed when she approached a nearby trader was him killing a brown mold in his shop. I doubt for you that would be suspicious, but I will give you a clue. Vendors generally don't fight monsters. Progressing to the 4th level, Lorrezealue was ambushed by 4 goblins and 1 goblin murdered another. That was the effect of the ring.
The giant enemy spider.
Moving forward, I realized that I forgot my glue on the previous level. This happened because in this game, when you don't wait for your companion to be precisely standing near you when using stairs, they just stay there until you go back. Additionally, they have a tendency to not catch up with the player character. This results in you either losing everyone you care for and love as you progress, or spending in-game hours waiting for everyone near the stairs and thus losing more valuable nutrition. Mine Town. The city of crime, filled with disgusting monsters and enemies, constantly struggling to survive. However, this time everything was even worse, I would say. The Ring of Conflict affected the minds of its inhabitants, causing everyone around to go on a wild rampage. This seemed like the perfect opportunity for the wizard. She was only left to collect the loot dropped by defeated gods and sell it. However, in a regular battle with gnomish wizards, one of the force bolts aimed to kill the raider also shot a shopkeeper.
Stop! Skip it up and down.
And so ended the story of Lorrezealue, the elven wizard. After that, I decided to go with a more classical melee class and created a samurai lizardman Jakiro. One of my intentions with choosing this race was to solve the nutrition problem by creating a carnivore. I had a presumption that a carnivore is going to be more resistant towards the effects of eating raw flesh than my previous character. Not only I was wrong, but now the character was unable to eat anything vegetable-based. Jakiro continued onto his journey, slaying one monster after another. He got a little hungry and decided to have a little snack. Who could have thought that eating a giant larva corpse could negatively affect your health? Not me. However, the problem remains. Losing 2 strength is not something we can afford. In the future, I need to be more careful. Soon Jakiro felt hunger and I did not have anything to eat. Even worse, he could not satisfy his hunger with the flesh of his enemies, because the only enemies he encountered were endless gas spores. Finally, a were-rat. Now we have food to— Are you serious? Why is everyone here so contagious? By now, Jakiro already lost half of his strength and his combat abilities are not as high as they once were. Hallucinating from eating a bile worm, Jakiro found the Mine Town, our favorite worst place to live in. This was the place where I finally understood what had Jakiro become. On one hand, he was extremely armored and enemies barely could hit him. On the other hand, his strength was twice lower compared to the beginning of the adventure, and he himself barely could hit an enemy. Being ambushed by 10 termites, I decided to cast the summoning spell. I was expecting to summon a friendly unit, but it's a hostile dragon baby.
Out of my way, son! Stop!
No!
You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or
No!
Hoping to get assistance of a shopkeeper, Jakiro ran inside the weapon shop, but the shopkeeper had no intention to help. So, as a true samurai, he met his death in combat. The lizardman readied his bow and started shooting. He intended to take as many lives as possible before embracing the sweet hugs of Mother Death. He won? I can't believe it. Jakiro won. The RNG gods were on my side. A water demon. The only thing that could be worse than a baby dragon on such a low level. You know, actually at this point I wouldn't even mind meeting a dragon instead. No, Pathos, that's not what I meant, no!
Who is responsible for this mess? No! No!
Jakiro stupidly gets surrounded. It definitely does not seem optimistic for him unless he picks up a pickaxe and destroys a wall to escape the circle. The green baby dragon is dead now. The water demon won't stand a chance. Why? Why are you doing this to me, Pathos? Aha! Take that! How about that game? Only one dragon followed me back to the dungeon.
The hunter has become the hunter, and the chaser has become the chosen.
I'm back, bitches. At last, the water demon is down and Jakiro may finally proceed with his adventure to the next level. And the overabundance of meat allows him to stay satiated and never be hungry. Even the strength is... I don't want to discuss it, but I will, because now Jakiro with his strength score 4, according to D&D 5e, is as strong as an octopus, a flying snake, or a badger. At this point I was a bit frustrated, so I decided to just chant demonic songs on the pentagram I found on the next level, hoping it could somehow return Jakiro's strength.
The giant enemy spider.
Eventually, the Satan himself came out of hell to stop me from bothering him. And so ended the story of Jakiro, the lizardman samurai. Next up is the demon necromancer named Torzomoth, and his imp Cogrol. They roam the dungeon hoping to gain enough strength and power to create a powerful undead army and use it to enslave the surface under Torzomoth's rule. But not yet. First, we need to at least have enough mana to resurrect corpses. Finally, the second level. Invasion of feeble mortals starts now. Torzomoth will rule the cosmos, and lesser demons will bow their heads before the new ruler of hell. Would you be surprised if I said he has nothing to eat again? Here I finally found a trader. Finally, thought Torzomoth. I can buy myself some food. Suddenly, the shopkeeper attacked. He slayed poor innocent imp with one strike, but his anger did not disappear. My kobold slave attempted an attack, while Torzomoth casted Blinking. However, both did not succeed. With his counterattack, the shopkeeper plague obliterated the poor revenant. Torzomoth dashed towards the doorframe, hoping to survive by any means, but the future demon lord was wiped by the next attack of the infuriated trader. That's stupid. I'll try again. The new Torzomoth had even less mana, and he gets infected by the rabies. I just think it is kind of funny how the future demon lord, as I described him, and a powerful necromancer, as I intended him to be, turned out to actually be a total loser. Oh, but look at that. A throne. At least Torzomoth can now feel like a lord. Really? Even trying to mimic a successful person turned him into a slime? Wow. What a level of irony. Why is this character so bad? I don't even want to continue talking about this character. This ending is too good. There is a number of things I wanted to discuss before ending the review. First, there actually is a different game mode except the classical dungeon crawl, Nethack Legacy. It is a manually created adventure which sends you on a more balanced journey compared to the randomly generated dungeons, and it even happens on the surface. The world is full of secrets and dangerous enemies. I must note it reminds me of old-school RPGs, with its non-linear open world, where high-level enemies that can kill you in one hit are located 15 tiles away from rats, dwarves and kobolds. Another pro/con, depends on your values, is that there is no obvious objective, no dialogues, no quests, nothing, so you don't have a clue what to do. I didn't progress far into the legacy and I did it consciously to avoid spoiling it to you. Another regret I have is not encountering any Revenant levels. When playing on my phone, I found them occasionally and really liked the idea. Sometimes when entering a level, you can have a déjà vu. That is because you were here before. This is the level where one of your previous adventures ended in a disaster. Progressing, you can find the ghost of that character hostile towards you. This may be extremely dangerous as most likely it has the same level as you do. You can even find its backpack and all of its loot, but I would not advise you to use it as it is cursed. However, I've never encountered a Revenant level on PC. I have looked through settings and assured they were not disabled. Well, happens. Finally, Pathos allows you to play in co-op mode on split screen. We did not test it because no one from our @Sky staff volunteered and the executives refused to give us more budget to hire anyone as we have not yet demonstrated that we are rentable. Anyway, try it yourself, it's not like you will survive anyway. And this is all for today, viewers. If you watched until the very end, let me shake your hand to show my respect. You have just contributed into the development of YouTube. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the @Sky channel. This review took a lot of time to make because of how busy I was, and I hope it won't be the last one for this year. I was making it in 2020, so now it's 2021 and this line is no more relevant. As I intend to revive the channel, which I wouldn't say was ever alive. Stay tuned and see you next time.